Hey folks, welcome to the Restaurant Show. I'm your host, Justin Riley. Stick around because we've got a fantastic show with some great local food. We're going to be joined by Rob Grether, owner of Dashalito's Hot Sauce. He always has some great recipes that incorporate Dashalito's hot sauces, so if you like spicy, you'll want to stick around for that segment. We'll also be talking to Ryan from the Red Zone. They'll be demonstrating their chicken Philly sandwich and bottled crafted beer. Plus, Lewis Station Winery is also in the house. It's all coming up right here on the Restaurant Show, where we stop by the best restaurants in town so you can skip the rest and enjoy the best. We'll tell you where to eat coming up on the Restaurant Show. Welcome back to the Restaurant Show. You can see by the smile on my face that Lewis Station now joins us, and I'm joined now by Rob Lewis and somebody who doesn't look like Jason Dunn. Who are you? No, I'm just kidding. This is Jason's wife, Beth. It's so good to have you on the Restaurant Show.
I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah, welcome. Awesome. So, Rob, we're going to be talking about desserts today.
Yes, we are.
Which gets me a little titillated, if I may say that. You've got a new wine that you're releasing called One Oak Tree. Can you tell us a little bit about this?
You got it. So as you can see with the lineup in front of you, we've got 4 dessert wines. The newest dessert wine to the menu would be One Oak Tree.
Okay.
So One Oak Tree is a true port wine. So this is a wine that I worked with a vintner in California for the grapes, and then we aged it with brandy.
Oh.
And it is spectacular.
Okay.
So, and what's unique about the name, the One Oak Tree, is that all of the oak barrel that was used came from one individual oak tree.
Thus the name.
That
makes sense. That makes sense. So these are brandy barrels that you aged it in these brandy barrels.
That's right. So, well, not only was it a brandy barrel, it was actually, I infused brandy in it.
Oh, wow, okay.
So this is actually, so if you want to try it.
I would love to try it, okay.
So the other wines that we have are port-style wines, so they're wines that are made in the port-style fashion. However, this one would be a true authentic port. Similar to the wines from Portugal, where they actually use brandy to help solidify and stabilize the wine for shipment. This is a true dessert wine. It's pretty delicious.
I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying this. This was not going to leave my hand for a while, so.
Well, you have a few more wines to try.
Okay,
This is the One Oak Tree. The other one that I'm really excited about is, so this is our Knickerbocker ice wine.
Okay.
Now, the Knickerbocker ice wine, here we go. We'll swap it around. I'll let you try the Knickerbocker ice wine. You can see it's got a nice, beautiful color, so it's not dark like some of the port wines.
Okay.
That Knickerbocker ice wine is a Cabernet Franc grape.
Okay.
Now, Cabernet Franc is traditionally in Bordeaux, so that's where that grape variety comes from. Although this Cab Franc comes from British Columbia. So there's a vineyard outside of British Columbia that makes this Cab Franc, and it's an ice wine, so it's a true ice wine, meaning the grapes freeze on the vine.
Okay.
Once the grapes freeze on the vine, they bring the grapes down and they crush it. And because it freezes, it concentrates the sugar inside the grape, which also gives it a higher Brix or higher sugar level, which means higher alcohol content, which you could probably feel that delicate warming that goes down your throat as you try this.
It's so delicious, I don't even notice, to be honest.
Yeah, it's like nice it's got these raspberry tones. It's actually really delicious. Yeah. This wine's going to be released, we release it the first weekend in February in Lake Mills at the Knickerbocker Ice Festival.
Okay.
So we have our own festival around Knickerbocker, and we include this Knickerbocker ice wine.
Awesome, awesome. Now, I don't know, I want to try these too, but maybe you can just give us the quick ABC 1, 2, 3 of these, because I want to make sure Beth has a chance to give us some dessert
we got to go
here.
through these delicious desserts. Wait till you see what she's got for you today. So this one right here is called Matrimonia. Matrimonia is a blend of 2 of my favorite things, port-style wine and coffee. Ooh. So I made this as a breakfast wine. No, just kidding. It's not really a breakfast wine. But, well, it could, for me, maybe it could be. But anyway, so this is like that after an end of the meal, and if you're going to have like an espresso, but you'd like to have a port, this kind of does both. So it's a nice port-style wine with whole Guatemalan coffee beans, and it extracts all the oils, and it's just absolutely delicious. And this one is probably one of the favorites at the winery. It's called Chocolate Cerise. It is a port-style wine aged with chocolate. Ooh. So it tastes like a chocolate covered strawberry.
All kinds of varieties of wine to try at Lewis Station. And Beth, what have you got for us for dessert today?
Well, desserts at Lewis Station Winery change. We don't have the same dessert week to week. It all kind of depends. On Wednesdays, we have our wine and tapas, and I make 3 desserts for that. And so that kind of carries over into the rest of the week. So, but one dessert that we always have at Lewis Station Winery is our wine fudge. I make it on site. It's reducing Lewis Station wine with sassy cow cream, adding sugar, vanilla, Belgian chocolate, and butter, and the wine and the cream are reduced with Vietnamese cinnamon.
I've had some of this.
You've had it?
It's to kill for.
So, our wine fudge.
All right.
Now, if you have that with a sip of any one of those, it'll be absolutely to die for. But the wine fudge we always have, and it is for sale in our coolers. But then I have all the other desserts that we make during the week, and during the week I have a dessert sampler that I serve, and that is an assortment of the different desserts we have. Typically in a week I will make something chocolate. I'll usually have a chocolate cake or a brownie. This one happens to be a chocolate peppermint candy. I'll have another cake that's either nutty or some other cake. That is a Kentucky bourbon butter cake. I have blueberry cheesecake bars. I always try to have something fruity. Then I serve drunk berries with pound cake.
Ooh.
And those berries are soaked in Lewis Station Winery Grist Mill Red.
Okay. That sounds good.
Not only do we have the wine fudge that we have all the time, but I have also made some traditional fudge.
Okay.
And that, instead of getting made with your grocery variety chocolate chips that we all make fudge at home with, I make it with our Belgian chocolate. And the Belgian chocolate that we use is a very high quality. It's called Callebaut, and it's got a 54% cacao content. But anyway, it's phenomenal chocolate.
Okay.
So our dessert sampler looks something like that. Now, like I said, it changes from week to week depending on what the whim is on my part for making desserts. Okay. But it's enough to share, typically for 2 people or more, and it comes out, however presentation with the different desserts.
Wow, I feel just so taken care of right now. I can't describe it any other way. This is fantastic. And so I can order this for myself, and then what does my fiance or my wife get then?
You can order one for her,
too. Oh, they can get their own?
You can get your own. You don't have to share, or you can share. Any of the desserts are usually available as a single also. You don't have to order the whole dessert sample.
Okay, well, that's good to know.
But you come on Wednesday nights, and it's all part of the wine and tapas.
We are out of time already. I can't believe it.
Goodness.
We didn't hardly get to anything. You talked, I think, about most of what we needed to talk about.
I sure did. Yeah.
Awesome.
Great.
Rob Lewis.
Awesome,
and
thank you.
Beth Dunn, so good to have you with us today. Lewis Station Winery is out in downtown Lake Mills. You gotta head down there. Don't go away, there's more Restaurant Show coming up after the break. Coming up next on the Restaurant Show, chicken Philly sandwich with the Red Zone.
Hey, welcome back to the Restaurant Show. Joining us now, we have Ryan from the Red Zone. Welcome.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great.
Good.
Glad to have you. So we're going to talk about some craft beer, but first, let's talk about the chicken Philly.
Okay.
A delicious sandwich you guys do. So tell me a little bit about this sandwich and what's different about it.
All right, well, it's got a couple different things. You take the basic idea of a Philly with your meat, onions, peppers, cheese and stuff. What we do, we start with a 7-inch hoagie roll. We'll take a garlic aioli mayo, put that on nice and thick, give it a bunch of good flavor. You can kind of see the garlic right in there as you look.
Oh yeah, it's definitely got some bits and pieces. I love mayonnaise on sandwiches. I'm a big condiment fan.
We're going to throw in quite a bit of cheese. Put the chicken over top so that the cheese starts to melt. You want to get that hot chicken on there so that it goes from there.
Get a nice melty hot sandwich.
Then you get the red pepper, green pepper, and onion mix.
Good. Look at this. Love it.
Nice and big.
Ooh, lots of veggies go on this sandwich, yeah.
Oh yeah, and then we're gonna throw some French fries on the side to give it a nice, nice plated look.
Yes.
There we go.
With your pickles. This is an awesome sandwich if you haven't been down to the Red Zone lately. You guys have some amazing sandwiches. Big menu.
Yep.
I'm always impressed with the size of your menu because sometimes I forget how much is on there because I have my little go-to favorites, but you guys have a huge menu. And you guys do a lot of different sides as options, right?
Yep.
So you can get fries if you want. Or what else?
My favorite, tater tots. I don't think you can ever go wrong with tater tots. Pub chips, which is the deep fried kettle chip style.
Okay.
We have sweet potato fries and sweet potato tots. potato
Sweet
salad.
potato tots.
Yep.
I did not know you had that.
Yep, we bring them out for specials and stuff like that, but if you
Neat.
ask for them, you can get them. Potato salad, if you want something non-potato based, there's low-fat cottage cheese and coleslaw. And we're working on developing some other things to bring along as well. But
I gotta try the sweet potato tots now next time.
Oh,
That's
yes.
great. Okay, I love it. So that's the beautiful, I'm losing fries here. Gorgeous sandwich, chicken Philly, lots of delicious veggies go on top of that, melted cheddar, the whole thing. So that's great. Now, craft beer. Let's talk a little bit about your beer selection. So, you know, this is maybe something we haven't talked a whole lot about in the past, or at least you haven't had the show off the row of beer. So, talk to us a little bit about this. And are these mostly regional beers, or what do you have?
we try to find a good combination. I mean, if you just look at the beers we have here, we have 3 from Wisconsin, 1 from California, 1 from Oregon, 1 from New York, and 1 from Indiana. So try to balance out a lot of local flavor, but you know, expand beyond that and bring some national brands and even international brands as well.
Neat.
To kind of round out the portfolio.
So you can do like a beer tour of all the different locations. I love it. So that's great. And let's talk a little bit about variety in terms of like flavors and styles and things of that nature.
Yeah, that's another thing. Along with having local beers, you're going to have your standards like Spotted Cow from New Glarus.
Sure.
A lot of people have. We also right here have the Fat Squirrel from New Glarus, which is a English style nut brown ale. Then you're going to go into another local, which the Lake Louis Warp Speed Scotch Ale. Both of those are going to be a little more malty, a little more sweet flavors.
Scotch ale. I gotta look at
yeah.
this one. Let me
Oh,
see
yeah,
the label on
that's
this
good
one.
stuff.
The Lake Louis. I've not had that one. Okay.
Made right in Arena, Wisconsin. Then you have
Alright,
Central Waters. They're Wisconsin Red. Still going to have a lot of maltiness to it with a little bit of hoppiness to it. Then you get into some other flavors like this Anderson Valley here is a sour beer that's got a little bit of a saltiness towards the end.
Okay. Where's this one? Was this Anderson
That's out
Valley?
of California.
Okay, neat. Highway 128. I love
Yes.
it. So
Then you got some other stuff. Gumball Head is a pretty strong beer from Muncie, Indiana, and it is a wheat ale with a lot of hoppiness to it. So you can go from a malty side to a hoppy side to anything
Sure.
in between, and give people what they want, because there's a lot of different palates and a lot of people choosing to do different things with beer.
yeah, and you know your stuff.
I try my best. and
Yeah, I'm impressed. Very good. And so in addition to that, so you can get all these different beers, and I didn't realize, I guess, that you had such a wide variety of bottled beer, so that's nice to know. And all different kinds. And then for folks, okay, so we've talked food, and if you haven't been over there, such great food.
Thank you.
Love your let's talk about your portions. Not only do you have a big menu, but you have big portions. All your food is like, oh my gosh, sometimes it's a meal and a half, sometimes it's not, sometimes you eat the whole thing, don't tell anyone. But sometimes you have a lot of leftovers too, because the portions over there are great and the prices are really good. But you also rent out your space. So like for holidays and things, I mean, what kinds of things can you do?
You know, we have the concert venue side, so we can fit up to 300 people there. Or if you want to be a smaller group, we can find a spot for you in our main area. You know, we can do all sorts of buffet foods. We can do a little more catered stuff for you if that's what you want to do. If you want to buy certain types of beer barrels or anything like that, or just anything you want, we're able to cater the experience to what you want and
That's
what you
neat.
like.
So kind of anything goes. You don't have like a set thing that you have to do. You can either do buffet, you can have certain dishes made, you can have all different kinds of things. So that's really nice to know if you're wanting to have a little holiday shindig, or maybe bring your office folks over, or you get a big group together for sports, or you know, whatever it is. So that's neat. And one question that I get sometimes about being over at Red Zone is, you know, you are in a busy area. So talk to me a little bit about parking.
Well, during the day, it's primarily street parking, but after 5 p.m., you can use the Madison Property Management lots. We have an agreement with them. There's a lot immediately to the east of us, and then to the north of their building as well. And then after 6 p.m. and all weekend, you can utilize the budget bicycle lots, which all those lots combined give us over 100 parking stalls in the immediate area that people can use. And like I said, it's the Madison Property Management lots after 5. and Budget Bicycle after 6. So there's
Right.
quite a wide variety you can park in.
And they're all this, like, maybe sounds like you gotta walk, that you don't. It's like right there. It could be your parking lot. It's just, they're right there. So that's nice.
One you have to cross the street for, but that's about it.
Okay, yeah, I didn't even know that, but I've used the budget lot a couple times, but that's great. So lots of great parking, great food, bottled beer, and holiday stuff. You can go rent out a space, get some things catered, go see Ryan over at the Red Zone, check him out for some awesome food this season, and stick around for more restaurant show right after this.
Coming up next on the Restaurant Show, things are heating up with Dashalito's hot sauce. And welcome back to the Restaurant Show. With me now is Rob Grether of Dashalito's hot sauce. How are you, Rob?
I'm doing great.
Seen you on the Restaurant Show for a full year now, and I think this is the first time that we've actually maybe shared a screen together, I guess.
It's good to be next to you.
Well, good. So what are you making for us today?
Well, I thought I would give people an idea of what it takes to actually make a hot sauce.
Okay. So this is a hot sauce. I mean, this is the one that you're kind of start to demonstrate. We don't have time to do the whole thing, but this is the one that you're doing today. You made this kind of on a whim last night.
Well, you know, last night was the second time I tried to make it.
Okay.
The first time I made it about a month ago maybe, and I went into the kitchen with the idea in mind that I wanted a blueberry hot sauce. So, you know, I didn't really know, there aren't that many sauces out there that make, you know, that use blueberries for hot sauce. I just thought it sounded really good.
Okay, all right.
So, you know, I went into the kitchen one night, my commercial kitchen. I do all my work in a commercial kitchen. And I took some blueberries, I took some habaneros, and I took some Miller High Life. And just kind of went from there. You know, the base of hot sauce is vinegar.
Okay, that's good to know.
You know, just so people, you know, in case they don't know, I'm using an apple cider vinegar.
Okay.
That's kind of where you get your acidification from.
Sure.
You know, you need your sauce to be at least below a 4.0 pH so that it is acidified and it's shelf stable, that sort of thing.
Now, in order for somebody to, like if somebody wanted to make their own hot sauce and let's say sell it, you know, I think there's a licensure certification that you need to have in order to be able to lawfully to do that.
Yes, sir, that's correct. I am an acidified foods processor.
Okay.
Which means I went through a class, went through a testing certification that shows I know what I'm doing with acidification.
Okay.
You know, part of that is I have a pH meter.
Okay.
That allows me to test the sauces that I make before I make them, you know, before I get them certified, that sort of thing. And then every time I make them in the kitchen, I have to test them with this meter.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So
whip that out for us, would you?
That's the meter itself.
Okay.
We've also got, we calibrate it using a 7.01 pH solution and a 4.01, which kind of helps you to show that the meter is working, calibrated, so that you're able to get an accurate reading.
Sure, that makes sense.
With something like this, I would take this, I would put it in a cup with some distilled water, make a slurry, and then I would have this calibrated. I would test it. This is going to test out to about, knowing the sauce now because I've done that, it's going to test out to about a 3.75, 3.8, which is
right where you want it.
That's correct.
So you've got the apple cider vinegar and the peppers in there right now. Are there any other, have you added anything else?
I haven't.
Yeah? Okay.
You know, the base of this sauce is going to be some blueberries and habaneros. Like I said, that was the only thing I really knew I wanted.
Sure.
So I mixed those all together, and then from there, I kind of thought about what I would like to see for flavors, you know. So ultimately, I added some honey. Ooh. You know, I had a measurement of that, but I'm going to put a little bit of that in there.
Okay.
You know, blueberries themselves are not really that sweet.
Right, no, that's true.
So
if you want that sweetness, you got to add something to make it that sweet. Where do you kind of come up with these ideas? I mean, you think, I don't have a blueberry hot sauce yet, so I'm going to make that. Is that just kind of?
That's exactly what it was. Okay. You know, a lot of times I just everything I make, I like. Yeah. You know, I all my different varietals. You know, I like those sauces. I've created those because they sounded good to me to eat and to have for, a hot sauce.
Okay.
Like right now, this blueberry, just, I had like a blueberry barbecue sauce, and I thought, wow, that's really good. And then I thought, how about a spicy blueberry barbecue sauce? And then I said, well, I'm not really a barbecue sauce maker. Maybe start with a hot sauce and then make a barbecue sauce.
Okay.
Like I had some jerk the other day, like Jamaican jerk.
Sure, yeah.
And I was like, oh, that was great. Maybe a cherry jerk. I also like the fruits. I like the sweet stuff.
Sure, yeah.
So I actually went in the kitchen. I'd never tried to make a jerk sauce. A lot goes into that with the different cinnamons and, all spices and, that sort of thing.
My favorite Dashalitos is it's the sweet jalapeno that you have.
The sweet heat.
The sweet heat. That's definitely my favorite.
I had a friend who had an acre of land, had an acre of jalapeno plants growing, got to the end of the season and he said, hey, I've got all these extra jalapenos, do you want to go harvest them? And a lot of them weren't ripe enough to use in production for some of my already, made sauces. So I thought, what am I going to do with these kind of awkward, not quite right jalapenos? And then I thought, I like the sweet, I like the spicy, I like kind of even a little salty. So I kind of came up with that because of that.
Okay, all right. Now, how long does this have to cook? Do you have to bring it to a boil?
So this is going to boil. I haven't added everything because I'm not going to show everybody my trade secrets as far as what's in here.
Well, yeah.
But I will say, honey and brown sugar, those are both in there. I've got a good soy sauce. I'm really careful when I add things that are pre-manufactured by other people. Because A, you want to make sure you know what's in there, you have to disclose that. So this being a great one because it's really just, organic soybeans, wheat, salt, and some water.
Okay.
So, some of them get a lot of stuff in there.
Right.
I don't want corn syrups. I don't want anything like that. So basically we're going to add all these things together.
And then we're gonna mix.
We're going to take our blender. And we have
I have a blender here.
You do,
for you.
do you?
Yeah, I sure do.
Well,
Here. So
that's what we're looking for.
Okay, so I got to press this button. Wait a second.
Don't aim that thing at me.
Okay, so I got to press this button and then this. So should I? Maybe not a good idea. Don't try that at home, kids.
So this is a spectacular blender. But before we run out of time, let's give Justin a chance to try what we have for sauce.
Oh, you're just going to make me take a teaspoon of it?
It's going to be great. You're going to love it.
Those of you who didn't see the last time Rob was here and I tried some of the hot sauce, you'll know what this means then.
Blueberry habanero. We're calling it blackout sauce, maybe.
Ooh. Yeah.
Sweet.
Not what I was expecting, but really good.
So it's kind of sweet,
really
kind of spicy, and put it over some ice cream?
Yeah. You into that kind of thing? Sure. Well, Rob Grether from Dashalitos Hot Sauce, pleasure as always. And don't go away, there's more Restaurant Show coming up right after the break. Thanks so much for joining me here today on the Restaurant Show. We've had a great time, great conversation, and of course, great food. I hope that when you're out and about looking for a place to eat or at the local grocery store, you'll consider any one of these fantastic locally owned businesses. That's all the time we have for today on the Restaurant Show. This is Justin Riley reminding you that life is too short to eat average. We'll see you next time.